welcome back to my channel. My name is Shan. This channel is called Shan and Nicole. So it has been a long time coming, guys. I know I have been MIA for a minute, but I'm back. And before I went ahead and started throwing out videos, I just want to give you guys a life update on what's been going on with me for the past year or two alone. But if you don't know and don't follow me on social media, I am a mother. I have a currently 8-month-old son. This is him right here. I'll post a little picture of him somewhere on the screen. But yeah, so let me go over a life update of what's been going on with me for the past, I would say, about 2 years, pretty much. So I did go. I decided to. Well, let's rewind. So basically, I started my YouTube channel, and as I was growing and filming, I decided to take a quick pause and focus on one social media platform at a time. So at that point, I started focusing mainly on Instagram. I was posting content, I was really enjoying it, and then you guys know the algorithm, whatever, started messing up. So your girl had took a break, and during that break, I decided to just basically like rebrand. I basically like started to rebrand, and during that time, I would say about when I started to go for to rebrand, I had gotten into an accident. I know, so sad. I got into an accident March of 2021 where I totaled my car. And so during that time, I was working at the moment, and I got into a car accident, totaled my car, and I was out of work for like a few months. I did injure myself. I had to go to physical therapy. And during that time, I was very down. I wasn't really posting much content. I wasn't even focusing on rebranding or creating content on any social media platform. I just like was focusing on my mental health and things like that. So prior to, I was out of work for like maybe I was out of work for a little for a minute, from like March up until like maybe June of last year, working on physical therapy. My back, I was having like back issues, so working on that. I was going through a lot during that time, so I was just focusing on my mental health, getting physically and mentally, emotionally right within myself. So I wasn't worried about social media at all. So I had a conversation with my husband, and I was telling him that I really wanted to focus on content creating. I really enjoy creating content. And so he was like, just get back into it. So I was like, okay. So we had decided to go to Atlanta for our little cousin's graduation. This was like Memorial Day weekend of last year. So we went out, and during that time in Atlanta, we was just hanging out with family, having a good old time. I mean, a great time. We had a great time when we was there. And when I came back, I noticed that I didn't have my menstrual. Mind you guys, my menstrual like is all over the place. It's always all over the place. Like it's never consistent. It has a mind of its own. So I wasn't really thinking of anything, but I did notice that I was glowing. My skin was like clear. I always had like clear skin, but sometimes I have breakout. I wasn't having any breakouts. And then I did notice I was gaining weight, which didn't make sense to me. But I would like being pregnant was like the last thing on the back of my mind. I was not thinking about being pregnant at all. However, my husband was like, just go ahead and take a test. Or no, he didn't say take a test. He was like, I think you're pregnant. I was like, no, it's coming. I brushed it off or whatever. So I went to my last physical therapy appointment. I was getting ready to go back to work the following Monday. So I had my last physical therapy to clear me to make sure I can go back to work. So I decided after physical therapy, I was going to stop by the store and get a test and take the test. Guys, so I get home, take the test or whatever, and it just automatically show up positive. And I'm like, so I just screamed my husband's name or whatever. I have a clip of the video of me telling
See
him.
like a bump or something. I mean, I was looking at your stomach recently, and I was like, man. But I think if like we go to the doctor and stuff like that, maybe it'll like, I don't
Yeah, maybe like 5 or 6 weeks. I don't know how many weeks I may be but I had a period last week, so I ended up telling him we was excited. Everything was going so well. We decided to tell our family and our friends because at this point we had been married for this would be our 4th year being married. Last year was our 4th. So we was excited. When you're married, the first thing people ask is like, when are you gonna have a baby? And at that moment when we first got together or married, we wasn't thinking about a kid. So now that we're 4 years in, we was thinking of the idea. We was entertaining the idea. We didn't expect it to just happen. So then it happened. So we was excited, telling all our friends and our family. So when I first found out I was pregnant, I was maybe 4 months along. Not 4 months, 4 weeks. I believe I was 4 weeks. However, when I did finally go to the doctor, and when you're pregnant, you have to go through certain tests to make sure no Down syndrome and things like that, and they do it around a certain amount of weeks. So when I had went to the doctor to get those tests done, my baby was measuring above that limit. So basically I thought I was 4 weeks, but in perspective I was actually 2 weeks ahead. So I think I found out when I was actually 6 weeks. And then around the time of 8 weeks is when things started going downhill, guys. So throughout my pregnancy, starting at 8 weeks, I basically ended up getting really sick. Well, I didn't get sick automatically. It started off with having nausea. So of course, typical pregnancy symptoms. Some women have symptoms, some women don't. I happen to have the most extreme symptoms and the most extreme pregnancy ever. But during that time of my pregnancy or whatever, around 8 weeks is when I started having nausea, and I really wasn't wanted to eat, didn't want to drink anything because I always felt I was always nauseous. Being pregnant and being nauseous, it was just whew, it was really tough. So it ended up going from being nausea, and then all of a sudden I randomly started throwing up. If you hear a lot of noise, that is my son. He's in his walker walking around in the family room with my husband, so excuse the noise. Back into the video. Oh, so the nausea, and then I started vomiting. I'll eat something, I just started vomiting. I really didn't think nothing of it. I was tired all the time, which most people say when you're pregnant, you're gonna be tired. You're gonna be so tired. That was me. I was so tired. I always want to take naps. And if you know me, if you know me in real life, I don't take naps at all. It's so hard for me to take naps. I'm one of those type of people that once I wake up in the morning, I'm up until it's bedtime. There's no napping in between. But when I was pregnant, I was sleeping so much. I was extremely, extremely tired. So from there, being tired, having nausea, vomiting, it just escalated to it went from I was saying on the chart from 0 to 10. I was probably at a 3 maybe, and then it shot up to a 10 immediately. So from there, everything I ate, I just started vomiting. No matter what I ate, no matter what I drank, it all came up. Whether it was water, Gatorade, everything would come up. And I went to the hospital, and they would basically give me fluids, just to make sure I was hydrated, because I couldn't drink anything. I couldn't eat anything at this point. So I would go to the hospital, and they will basically give me an IV for some fluids. So then that started. And then I went back to the doctor, and basically she started to prescribe me medication. At that moment, I don't remember the names because it's been 8 months now. But she prescribed me some medication. And again, I just started going downhill, literally going downhill, because I couldn't digest the medication, because I would take it and immediately throw it up. I can see the pill, I'll swallow it and then I'll immediately have to vomit, and I'm just looking at the pill in the toilet because I couldn't take it. I couldn't digest or anything. So then I had got to the point where I had started to lose so much weight because I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink. And during that point of time, like, it was kind of frustrating because everyone kept telling me to eat, drink, drink, drink. And I'm just like, I'm trying. So it became like extremely frustrating during that time for me. So I would basically, like, I spent a period of time on my couch. And during that time, I was still working. So I had to eventually, I kept calling out because I wasn't feeling well. So, and I was going to the hospital, so I would have like doctor's notes, and then it'll tell me to return at such amount of day. And then around maybe, I don't even know how many weeks I was at this point, but I called my doctor's office and they told me just go to the hospital because I wasn't feeling good at all. And I was like really down, like it was really bad. So I ended up going to the emergency room and they ran like so many tests on me. Sorry, my husband, he's probably putting up some curtains because we just like cleaned. We're in the process of cleaning and all that stuff into our family room because we just painted. So he's putting up the curtains. So that's why you may hear a drill going. But back to my story and my update. So yeah, so that happened. I ended up going to the hospital. They ended up running a lot of tests on me just to make sure baby was okay because I was losing a lot of weight. I wasn't eating and I wasn't drinking anything. Oh, and mind you, I had just started spitting. So some women during pregnancy, that's my son. Some women during pregnancy, they just build up like a whole bunch of saliva. I'm not really sure. I know the medical term for it or anything like that, but your mouth becomes full of saliva. So at that point, I was constantly like spitting. I had to spit so much. Like my mouth was always watery, and you just can't just swallow it. Like, wait, that was kind of weird to say, but yeah, you just can't just, I don't know. So I had like a jug of water always with me. So people always thought like, I don't know how you're dehydrated when you're constantly drinking water. And I'm like, I'm not drinking water. This is actually spit because my mouth is full of saliva. Like, it would just like run. Like, it was just so disgusting. So like, I always kept a bottle of water next to me. I used to carry like a big gallon, and then it was just like nasty, especially when I would go out. I didn't want to carry that around. And I would try to like find ways to hide it. So I ended up getting a plastic, just a regular plastic bottle, and I put a sleeve over it, and then so you couldn't really see it or anything like that, and then I can hide it in my purse. So that's what I would do. But yeah, so in the hospital they ran all these tests, and they gave me fluids, gave me medication, and I literally left the hospital still sick. Like, I wasn't feeling any better. So they sent me home. The next morning, I guess my levels, everything was like terrible. And my doctor basically told me to come in right away. And I went in and she was like, I don't even know. Like, she can see like the hospital that you leave like this. Because guys, I could barely walk. I was hunched over because I was in like so much pain because my stomach used to hurt all the time, like a cramping feeling. But I wasn't like I wasn't in labor or anything or didn't have like contractions. I was just like, my stomach just cramped. And so I was like hunched over. I had lost like 20 some pounds, and like I looked like a ghost. It was so bad. And during that time, like, I couldn't move. I couldn't take care of myself, to be honest. Like, my husband, he had to do everything for me. He literally had to help me get up to go to the bathroom. He had to help shower me. He had to do so much for me because I couldn't take care of myself. And I was just like, I just felt like my whole life was like, I don't know. It was just like one of those moments like where it's like, really, like, you get so excited to have a baby, then you get pregnant, and then the whole experience of having a baby and like having a little bump. And for me, it was just like like, really, like, this is not what I want. Like, this isn't it or whatever. So basically, my doctor, she saw me immediately and she was like, I'm finna send you to the hospital. Like, you're gonna have to go straight to the hospital. Like, I'm finna like call the hospital right now, and you're gonna have to go there. I don't know how long you're gonna be there, but you are going to the hospital and I can't believe they made you come home. It was just like really bad. And during this time, it was still like the breakout of COVID and everything. So she was very concerned because I wasn't vaccinated and my husband wasn't vaccinated. And so she was very like concerned about like, oh, if I send you to the hospital, like I don't want you to have COVID. You're already like your immune, like everything is so low. Like you're giving everything to the baby that you're like your body isn't giving you anything. Like it was giving it all to the baby because the baby was totally fine. He was jumping, doing what he wanted to do in the womb because they would see my ultrasound and him like he was going crazy. But yeah, so she ended up telling me like I'm gonna have to go to the hospital. And at this time, well, at that moment I didn't register anything because I'm out of it. So my husband had to like speak up for me and everything. He had to be like my advocate. That's how bad it was. And so she had made a decision. She was like, because you're in this situation, I'm gonna send you home with some medicine and I'm gonna send you home with a home health aide. She said they're not gonna come right away. It's gonna take some time, but they should be in. They should be in within a week. So of course I had to go through another week of still being down sick. My husband had to take care of me. But the moment home health came, it's just like I went from a 10 down to like a 3 or whatever, because it was just like they gave me IV. I had a stomach pump. I'll pop up a footage of what the stomach pump looked like. And basically what I would have to do, I would have to it was a machine. It was hooked up to like some medicine, and I would just like have to insert myself in my stomach every other day with a needle. And it basically pumped the medicine directly into my blood system so I can be able to take the medicine, because I couldn't take anything via mouth because I would just throw up everything. So once that happened, I was on fluids. I had to walk around with the IV for a few days. So I can come back to life pretty much. And that pretty much helped me so much. And if I didn't say it, but I was actually diagnosed with hyperemphasis gyroedema, known as HG. And it just it's pretty much just extreme morning sickness throughout your pregnancy, and it lasts the entire pregnancy. Lucky for me, I had my OBGYN obstetrician. She pretty much took great care of me throughout my whole entire pregnancy. She made sure I was comfortable. Everything was like, so once I got home health aid, from there, of course, I was down and sad throughout my pregnancy because of what I was going through, constantly spitting. But she made sure that I was able to take my medication. Like, she made sure that I was good, pretty much. Like, she made sure I was good as far as physically being able to take care of myself. But mentally and emotionally, I was like pretty much down because I wasn't expecting this to be how my pregnancy would be. So like I didn't really enjoy it like most people would say they enjoy it, because I was pretty much sick all the time. And I just was going through a lot. Growing a human, you just go through a lot emotionally, especially the way I was so sick. It was just like, it was tough. But that's pretty much the update, the life update. Besides from me creating content and then I stopped and then end up getting pregnant, and then that's my pregnancy journey. But of course, I'm back now. I'm so excited to like bring you guys along. I'm still gonna continue to do fashion. I'm gonna do some style videos coming up soon. I'm gonna incorporate some motherhood, day-to-day life as a stay-at-home mom, because I am a stay-at-home mom now. Little man probably gonna be jumping in and out my videos as well as I record and stuff like that. And I'm gonna have like some fashion, some motherhood, day-to-day blogs, lifestyle. I'm just gonna have everything on this channel. So y'all stay tuned. If you want to hear about my labor story was really good. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was based on the fact that I was so sick. But let me know below if you want to know about my labor story. And yeah, so that's the end of this video. Let me know any comments, thoughts, or anything like that. What have y'all been up to the past years? Let me know below in the comments. But yeah, oh yeah, make sure you like this video. Comment below anything you want in the video. I'll get back with you. And also click the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And yeah, I'll see you guys on my next video. Peace.